NFC West in fourth place. I struggled with this quite a bit, went back and forth. But I do have the Cardinals finishing last. I like Kyler. We'll see about the head coach. I kind of like him from what I saw last year. He wasn't working with a lot, but we'll see. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be excellent. I think McBride's going to be nice. But this division's really, really tough. And I think Seahawks are going to come in third. Love the new head coach. If Geno can just get back a little bit of what he was that first year in Seattle, they have a ton of weapons. So come on. No excuse. I think the defense is going to be a lot better. I think they have a lot of talent on defense that's kind of been unrealized up until this point. This is the one that everyone disagrees with me on. The Niners finishing in second place, making the playoffs, but I'm so high on the Rams this year, man. I think the Rams are going to be great. I've already said I think they're making the NFC Championship game. I think Niners take a slight step back. I think Purdy's not quite as efficient this year as he was last year. I'm worried about McCaffrey, but I won't go there with his injuries.
I think you're a psychopath. That's crazy. The Seahawks are going to finish last. They have a new head coach, and I don't believe in him at all.
Why?
What has he done?
He ran the best defense in the league last year for Baltimore.
I think they got the worst quarterback in the division by a large margin. I think Arizona got some new weapons, and I think Kyler's finally going to play a full season, at least like starting at the beginning of the year.
He was nice when he was played at the end of last year.
He's not a bad quarterback.
He's good.
Marvin Harrison is nasty, dude. Trey McBride is pretty nice. And Jonathan Gannon can still run a defense. And he was they beat the Cowboys and the Eagles last year. They can do something. Next up, we got the Rams finishing second because I'm not on the Lucas Kool-Aid. Lucas has been riding the Rams all offseason. I can't for them to lay egg. Obviously winning the division is the 49ers. They have all their weapons back. It took a while, but everyone's back. We got a guy who got shot in the chest, and he's also back. Animal.
He's not playing.
You just wait. He'll play.
He'll play later.
Eventually. He'll play eventually. But he worked out. 49ers are going to win. They're also going to the NFC Championship.
Wow. Against the Rams. No way.
Not the Rams.
Okay, we'll see about that. Okay, Eli. He has the Cardinals finishing last, just like I do. He has the Rams finishing in third.
Oh.
So he doesn't believe it all. And this is some Seattle homer stuff from him here. Seahawks finishing second. I can't wait till he has to justify this next episode. And he has Niners finishing first. Okay. So he doesn't believe in the Stafford rejuvenation year at all. He doesn't believe in the Niners taking a step back. I wonder if he was going to have the Seahawks making the playoffs. We'll see that later. But, wow. He's big on his Hawks.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Me neither. We'll get after him next week. Okay. NFC East. Giants finishing last. I think they're going to be the worst team in football. I'm definitely worried about Brian Daboll's future there. What is there to say about that team? They got nothing doing. Washington finishing third. You know what? I flirted with them finishing second. But
you were almost seeing it then.
I didn't do it. Hey, there's got to be new teams somewhere, okay?
Not here.
I like Jaden Daniels. I'm going to see if it works for him in the NFL because I'm worried about his size. But Washington finishes in third. But they're frisky. They're a frisky team. They're tough out. Dallas Cowboys finishing second. Not making the playoffs. Put your knee down so we can see that sad star in your chest.
Wrong.
They're super CeeDee Lamb dependent. They don't have killers on this team other than CD. Micah Parsons never shows up against a good team.
Stupid.
They just signed Dalvin Cook. Wow. All right. Dalvin Cook, Zeke Elliott, and Rico Dowdle. That strikes fear into the hearts of your enemies. I don't think they need a lot of production from running back, but that's their solution. I don't like that. Dak against good teams is horrible. Now they're going to be against a fair amount of bad teams in the regular season. I'm sure they'll win a chunk of those games, but I think it's down year for Dallas. Pressure's on Dak, and pressure bursts his pipes more than a lot of quarterbacks. So I think Dallas takes a step back, which of course leaves me with the Philadelphia Eagles in the number 1 slot. I am worried about this team, and just for the record, I had them higher in my playoff seeding. I had them at the number 2 seed before. I have lowered them since then because I don't like what I'm hearing from their locker room or the offseason about Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni just clearly don't really like each other. I don't like your head coach and your quarterback not getting along. And the article was like, they're not going to come to blows, but, they're never going to go out for dinner either. I'm like, okay, I hate this. Eagles, I want to see more from them, but I do think they have more talent. I like the addition of Saquon. They're finishing first.
So I have the Giants finishing in last because they're a shit franchise. And
Not a franchise.
sorry, for the last 10 years, they're a dog shit franchise.
Okay, maybe. They made the playoffs in the past 10 years, I'll say that.
And then the boat picture happened. So anyway.
Yeah. Sure.
So they're going to finish last. Then we have the Commies because they're the Commies, and that's where they belong. Second, we have the Philadelphia Eagles because they're just not that good. Everybody's so high on the Eagles and this and that. Their defense wasn't good last year. Jalen Hurts wasn't that good last year. He lost his center. Tush push is not going to be nearly as effective. It'll probably still do a bit. It's not going to be that crazy.
We'll see.
Saquon Barkley has not been that good in the past couple years. He gets injured a lot.
Wow, not even high on Saquon.
No, I'm not even high on Saquon. And also, I think that their head coach is a child. Like, I would actually even maybe take Big Mike over him.
Listen.
And I don't like Mike McCarthy, and I would maybe take him over Sirianni.
I'm not big on Sirianni, I'll say that.
Yes, and that was like half the whole thing, you know? Jalen Hurts voted one of the most overrated players, I believe, also by the players.
Yeah.
We're going to take the Cowboys to win the division because they're going to win it for 2 times in a row. They're going to do it. It's been so long since it's happened in the division, but it's going to happen.
Yeah,
you best believe it.
Longest standing NFL record for a team not won consecutively in the division.
Cowboys are going to be pretty good. I will say the running back room is dog. Something's got to give there. You know, you got to find somebody. Unfortunately, I don't think he's the answer. If I remember correctly, he's tiny. You got a tiny man, a fat man, and an old man. You know, it's just it's not going to work.
Hey, Deuce Vaughn is on there. He's tiny. Maybe.
Oh, I was thinking Deuce Vaughn.
I think Rico Dowdle's a bit bigger. Sirianni's
5'9". That's not big.
Rico Dowdle's 5'9"?
Yeah, man.
Wow, I did not expect that. Below 6 feet for running back is insane. But hey, maybe he's got a little burst in the passing game.
Man.
I don't know what they're going to do there. I don't like it. If CeeDee Lamb misses any amount of time, they're cooked.
Well, Brandon Cooks is still serviceable. And Jake Ferguson's good.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough for Dak, personally. But
you wish.
Oh, come on, Dak is not that good. Okay, let's see. Eli agrees with me completely. Giants last, Washington.
Good.
You agree on that too?
A couple of dummies over there.
He has Eagles finishing first, Dallas finishing last. He does have Dallas making the playoffs. Do you have Eagles making a wild card spot?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't even have Dallas in, but we'll see about that.
You're wrong.
It's a gamble, but I'm going for it. Okay, NFC North time. Minnesota Vikings, I don't know how there could be much disagreement here. They lost J.J. McCarthy. That was really their only hope of doing anything nice. That sucks for them because now the same thing as the Colts last year where now you're just in this like purgatory year. That sucks. So Vikings last. Bears finishing third. I did think about putting them second over Green Bay. Like, I don't think Green Bay is going to be a juggernaut. I think they're going to be slightly better than they were last year, but not that much better. But it's hard for me to see them trending downward. So Chicago third, making the playoffs. All the rest of these teams in this division making the playoffs. Caleb Williams and the Bears. Packers in second place are making the playoffs. I like the coach. He knows how to win. I like the quarterback. I think something clicked last year. And Detroit Lions at number one. Spoiler alert, my number one seed in the NFC. I think they get even better than they did last year. They try to address the defense, which was their weak point. They had that NFC Championship game last year. I know I keep harping on this, but they had it. I think they're deadly. I think they have a ton of talent. So Lions at number one for me in the North.
So last, I have the Bears in third. I have the Packers second, and I have the Lions winning the division. And now I'm actually realizing that I don't believe in the Falcons so much. I'm actually I have to ponder that one real quick.
That was your bold one. Okay, well, while you're doing that, I'll list Eli's. Okay. He's Vikings last. He has the Packers finishing in third, and he has the Bears second. I wonder if he's one of those guys who thinks they're capable of making it to the Super Bowl. I don't, not as a rookie for Caleb. That's crazy to me. But he does have all three of those teams still making the playoffs just like I do. He has the Packers finishing as the 7th seed and the Bears finishing as the 5. So he also has 3 teams coming out of there. Do you have the Packers coming out?
Yes, I do have them in the playoffs.
Okay.
And actually, I've decided I have the Bears making in the playoffs over the Falcons.
No way.
Yes.
We haven't even gotten to the South yet. So Bears, no. This whole time that Eli and I have been picking the Bears, you were like, no, way too much. And in the 11th hour.
I just realized, though, it's like I don't want to hitch my wagon to Kirk Cousins on a new team. I like Raheem Morris a lot, but
Why?
I don't love Kirk Cousins.
Wow. I mean, I don't love Kirk Cousins, but I love the team around him.
This is a tough one.
Now's the time. Bears, in or out? Caleb Williams story.
But I want to be able to ride the hype train. I'm going the Bears.
Nice. Okay.
I'm going the Bears.
Almost Sunday podcast, unanimous. Bears making it.
Yeah.
So you got three teams as well.
That means there's no chance.
The real question is, which North is tougher?
I think the AFC North is probably the best division in football, honestly.
Yeah, so do I. Okay. I thought we were going to have something to go in there, but
Nope.
yeah, not happening. And Eli, since Eli only has 2 teams. Oh, no, he has 3 teams coming out as well. So we all have 3 teams coming out.
Damn. That can't bode well for us.
We all have 3 teams coming out, and we still think the AFC North is better. It's funny. Well, it's because they have Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. But anyway, in the South, Panthers finishing 4th. This one I was also kind of tough on between the Panthers and the Saints, who I have finishing 3rd, because I do not like the Saints head coach. Their defense has an average age of 32 years old. I don't like that at all. Listen, I love Demario Davis and Cam Jordan. I think they'll both rightfully end up in the Hall of Fame, but I don't know what's going on over there. Marshawn Lattimore's still there. That's nice. I don't like Derek Carr. I think the O-line is a mess. Olave is a great receiver, but that's not enough. So Saints finishing 3rd. Tampa Bay Buccaneers finishing in 2nd and not making the playoffs. I think last year they benefited from a weak division, sort of flash in the pan. I don't really see how they got better. I don't think their young talent is going to help them enough this season. I'm talking about their draft because I did like their draft, but I don't think it's going to come into a huge effect. Godwin had over 1,000 yards last year, but clearly Mike Evans was a favorite target of Baker. Rashad White, while he was good in fantasy, was one of the most inefficient running backs in the league. So we're going to see about that. And Falcons, I have finishing in 1st place. I think the roster as a whole is super well-rounded. O-line, D-line, defense as a whole. They got traded for Matt Judon. They signed safety that played for Denver. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan, I think is going to go nuts. So I really do like the team as a whole. I think they're destined to win this division and win like 12 games and get bounced in the first round by a better team because they have Kirk Cousins at quarterback in the end. So there you have it. Falcons, I am buying it, but only as far as the playoffs go.
Yeah, I think that would 100% be the perfect season for, like, they can't do any better than that, honestly.
Yes.
But I still have the Buccaneers winning the division. I believe in the duo of Baker, Mike Evans. I have him in fantasy, Mike Evans. I'm fired up for it. I don't love Todd Bowles. Definitely don't love Todd Bowles. Maybe Baker Mayfield has actually established himself as a quality quarterback in the NFL. That would be fun.
At the very least, he's established himself as one of the best 32.
No, he's definitely higher than that, dude.
I said one of the best 32. I didn't say he's 32.
Well, that's way too broad. Yeah, he's a starter in the NFL. He's 100% an NFL starter.
I think Baker probably hovers around that 16 to 21-ish area. Okay, Eli's NFC South. In last place, he's the Saints. Then he has the Panthers. Buccaneers finishing 2nd and Falcons winning the division, and he only has the Falcons coming out of that division.
He's a Kirk Cousins rider, though. So
lover, yeah, ride or die. NFC. I have Lions finishing 1st, and I think they're the best team in that conference. And even though they have a really tough division, trial by fire, I think they're going to come out of it. Falcons are my 2 seed. Now, I don't think they're better than the Rams or the Eagles, or actually any other team I have making the playoffs. I just think their division is so bad that they can feast on these skeletons of losers and win 12, 13 games potentially and be the 2 seed. The Rams at 3, super high on them, obviously, winning that division. And Eagles, I did have a 2, like I said earlier, but didn't like all the noise. So Eagles are finishing at 4. I think 10 or 11 games wins that division easy. I think it's back to the NFC least. Niners are my best wildcard team, finishing at 5. Packers, similar story to last year, but not finishing 7. They're going to finish 6, and I have the Bears as my 7 seed.
So funny story. I spent all that time thinking about having the Bears in the playoffs, just to realize that I don't even have room for the Bears in the playoffs because I didn't write the Eagles down. I do think the Eagles are going to make the playoffs, but in the last place.
7 seed Philly.
7 seed Philly, 6 seed Green Bay Packers, 5 seed LA Rams,
Okay, so you got the Rams in there at least. Nice.
4 seed Buccaneers,
Okay.
3 seed Cowboys, 2 seed Lions, 1 seed 49ers.
That's crazy to me how you can't even have the Falcons in the playoffs. Just really don't believe in Kirky boy.
Begone.
Eli has the Lions as the 1 seed, just like I do. He's the Niners as the 2. He's the Eagles as the 3, and the Falcons as the 4. And he's the Chicago Bears at 5. He's Dallas at 6. The Packers finishing as the 7 seed. So the way he has it, Dallas walking into Philly in the first round of the playoffs, that would be very interesting.
I welcome that for sure.
Okay. Well, careful what you wish for.